Well, we are done with looking at the statement of financial position. Reminding you is that we had the assets in the sense that we took our assets, subtracted our liabilities, and that gave us the net assets. The net assets were sort of a measure of our well-offness. If you got a lot of net assets, you're well off, and if you don't, you don't. I know it's a lot more complicated than that, but I'm sort of laying the foundation for our next topic. But our overall net wealth is captured down here in net assets in many different forms and ways. Our measurement of increases in net wealth happens in the statement of financial activity. That is, we had at the beginning of the year, right over here, a certain amount of net wealth and net assets. We brought in money and we spent money, and it brought us to the end of this year. Okay. We started the year with a certain amount of resources. We brought in money, we spent money, and we ended up at, at our status at the end of the year. And so that's sort of explained by our statement of financial activity. Okay. We brought in money, we spent money, we combined it with what we started with, okay, at the beginning of the year and got and ended up, excuse me, what we started with at the beginning of the year is 17, okay, and ended up with the 18. And just to make it clear a little bit, let's go through it one more time. Okay, we started the year with 17 in net assets. Okay, 17. We brought in money during the year. We had income of 7 million and we spent 11 and we gave appropriations and we take that 17 we started with, add our surplus and we get what we ended the year with, 19 million. And we come right back up here and we could see the 19 million right here, how we've ended the year. Started with the 17 million, had a surplus of 2 million, and ended up with 19 million. So the way you build your net assets is by having a surplus. One way to look at your net assets, it's the accumulation of the entire life of the organization's surpluses and losses, and this is where the smoke is cleared. We end up with 19 million. Okay, the way we got the 19 million is that our forefathers did not spend everything they got. Okay, and so the measurement of how much we've increased our well-offness during the year is captured by the statement of financial activity. The statement of financial activity is about a period of time. So the balance sheet was about a point in time at the end of the year, and the statement of financial activity is about the period of time. So if someone asks you, how much money do you have in the bank? You would say, on December 31st, I had so much money in the bank. How much money did you make last year? You would say, last year I made such and such amount of money. This is close in meaning and purpose as an income statement in a business. In general, we have at the top, we have our revenue, our income, money coming in and money coming out, going out. And this is an operational portion. Okay, we divide the statement is divided into two parts: operating activity, okay, and capital activity. And we have the operating portion, revenue coming in, expenses going out, appropriations going out, coming in, and a net increase from operations. Then we have capital activity having to do with our buildings, and we have transfers, which I will explain later, and we have our net surplus or deficit. In this example, you can see we have an operating In our operating fund, we had a deficit and we had a surplus in our planned fund for a net increase of 2 million. So that gets us started on that. Well, that was our short little video introducing you to the activity statement, and I hope you learned something. Our next video is about accrual accounting. It's a really interesting and usually comes as a bright-eyed new idea to people who are not accountants. And one thing you will learn is that the numbers on this activity statement mean something a little bit different than what you think they mean. So you want to make sure that you watch that video so you can have a precise understanding of what the numbers mean. So thank you for watching.